Now, I'll be back in a couple of minutes with an update on the day's headlines, but now we join our news teams across the United Kingdom.
Good evening. The screening of a controversial film about deaths in police custody has been cancelled at the last moment after threats of legal action from the Police Federation, which represents officers. The film Injustice deals with several high-profile recent cases and looks at the campaigns by families against the police in London. Among the cases is that of Brian Douglas, a black man who died after being arrested in Clapham in 1995. The Metro Cinema in Soho tonight pulled the film, which identifies 8 police officers by name. One of the directors told us tonight what had happened.
Well, we were about to show the film at 6:30 this evening in London, and the cinema got a threatening letter from the solicitors representing the Police Federation, representing 2 police officers who were mentioned in the film, and they threatened the cinema with a libel, and they threatened to injunct the film if they showed it.
Is there controversial material, obviously likely to incur legal action in your film?
If you call telling the truth controversial, then yes, there is. I mean, in the film, the families speak very openly about how they feel about the officers that kill their loved ones.
But, so it sounds to me, there are obvious risks or dangers about this film. You need to go back and look at it again, do you?
No, we're not going to go back and look at it again. We've made this film to give a voice to the families who have been silenced everywhere else. So we're not going to recut the film. The film is going to be shown in this country. We're going to show it next week. We've had calls from Iran, from the US, from Africa, from people who want to see the film, and the truth will come out. You can't silence people forever.
Relatives of victims asked, do the police look after their own? The question tonight at a screening for London's Metropolitan Police Authority of a controversial film about deaths in custody. Good evening. If a member of the public had been captured on video punching and kicking somebody, you might expect them to be at least arrested. But the police officer caught doing exactly that has only been taken off public duty. This, as the Metropolitan Police Authority has caused consternation among officers by asking to see a documentary called Injustice about deaths in police custody. The Vice Chair of the authority debates with a senior officer live. A man is attacked in the street, punched in the face, and it's all caught on video. But this wasn't just any incident of common thuggery. Chris Wilson's assailant was a police officer. 6 days after he made a complaint, the officer from West Yorkshire Police has yet to be arrested or suspended, although he has been withdrawn from public duties. The incident highlights once again public disquiet that those who enforce the law may not be treated the same as others if they break it. Our Home Affairs editor Mark Easton has this.
Are we witnessing the use of reasonable force by a police officer, or an act of professional misconduct, or is this a crime? These pictures were taken last month in Wakefield by the neighbour of the man apparently being assaulted by a uniformed officer. The video begins with what appears to be a kick to the groin. Then the officer punches the man in the face again and again before pulling him to the car. The same officer then appears to knee the man in the back. And later there may be a further assault in the back of the police car.
Don't know why he did it. So I'm watching for 3 minutes beforehand, didn't see any provocation, either physical provocation or verbal. He didn't say anything aggressive or anything. And then he just suddenly started laying into him.
The video must amount to prima facie evidence of a criminal assault. And yet West Yorkshire Police were astonished when asked why neither officer had been arrested or even suspended. Even though they had the tape last Wednesday, it was only this morning that the 2 officers were taken off the beat and an inquiry began. The question is one of confidence. Does the public believe police officers who appear to have broken the law are treated the same as the rest of us? It was the same question dominating the screening of a controversial film about deaths in police custody today. Relatives of people who've died accused police and prosecutors of not bringing cases to trial and denying them justice.
We've had no justice, and we're seeking it still. Individuals that have died since my brother's death in 1995 continue to run the gamut of the legal system, ending up with insufficient evidence to prosecute. To me, that's no progress.
Lawyers representing officers involved in the cases from the film have successfully prevented previous showings, suggesting the movie might libel their clients. However, the Metropolitan Police Authority wanted to see for themselves.
As far as we're concerned, the unfairness stems from the fact that the families lose somebody at the hands of police officers and then have to face the indignity of losing the body for months, if not years, and then have to face the indignity of police officers investigating themselves. That's unfair. It's unfair that the CPS refused to prosecute when there are verdicts in inquest of unlawful killing. That's unfair. So we feel it's unfair on the families, and that's what our film is about.
During the 90s, the number of deaths in police custody increased dramatically. And even more disturbingly, the proportion of those deaths which were from the non-white community went up as high as 22%. In the last few years, however, there has been some improvement. This Scotland Yard training video takes on board recommendations from the Police Complaints Authority, changing procedures to try and reduce the number of deaths of people in police care. The Met is even introducing nurses to some custody blocks next month to help officers deal with prisoners who may be at risk. The video from Wakefield, though, is a very different image of modern policing and may reignite the debate about how best to deal with accusations that police have exceeded their powers.
Well, we hope to be talking to the Police Superintendents Association very shortly, but now Peter Herbert, who's a lawyer and Vice Chairman of the Metropolitan Police Authority, joins us from Westminster. Peter Herbert, do you think the police and the public are treated equally in the eyes of the law?
I don't think they are. I think the film was an extremely disturbing and distressing catalogue of police impunity.